A former FDA food safety expert called it the worst product on the American market. The brand? Still on your grocery store shelf, still in millions of American kitchens, still being served to children every single morning. 12 brands. Phthalates in kids' lunchboxes. Lead and cadmium in everyday staples. Cancer-linked preservatives printed openly on the label. And 3 brands that have actually earned your trust. Let's start with number 12. Little Debbie. The snack cake your parents packed in your lunchbox. Cheap, sweet, everywhere. Pick up a box, read the label. High fructose corn syrup, partially hydrogenated oils, that is trans fat, artificial dyes, a list of ingredients your great-grandmother would not recognize as food. Here is what that combination does. Trans fats raise LDL cholesterol, the bad kind, while simultaneously lowering HDL, the good kind. That is a double attack on your cardiovascular system in every single snack. Researchers classify Little Debbie products among the most ultra-processed in the entire American food supply. Virtually zero nutritional value, maximum shelf life, and a price point designed to make you buy more. The calculation is simple. The cheaper the ingredients, the higher the margin. You are not the customer. You are the product. Bottom line, trans fats, high fructose corn syrup, and artificial dyes in a package designed to look like a childhood memory. The next brand has been hiding something in your kids' cereal for decades, and a former Food and Drug Administration expert went on record about it. General Mills, Lucky Charms, Trix, Cocoa Puffs, the cereal aisle of every American childhood. For decades, these products have contained petroleum-based synthetic dyes. Blue 1, red 40, yellow 5, yellow 6. Not natural colors. Petroleum derivatives. The same raw material used to make plastics and fuels, processed into the dye that turns your kids' milk bright blue. Health advocates and the FDA have both flagged these dyes for neurobehavioral problems, including hyperactivity and attention issues in children. The European Union requires warning labels on products containing them. The label reads, "May have an adverse effect on activity and attention in children." American boxes carry no such warning. In June 2025, General Mills finally announced it would remove artificial colors from all United States cereals by 2027, an announcement that is itself an admission they knew, and they kept selling. 2 years from now, not today. Your kids are still eating it this morning. Bottom line, petroleum-derived dyes linked to behavioral issues in children sold without warning labels that European law requires. Brand number 10 has been on American shelves since 1892. What they put in it now would shock the people who built that legacy. Hostess, Twinkies, Ho-Ho's American icons. Open the wrapper. Look for TBHQ, tertiary butyl hydroquinone, a preservative derived from butane, the same butane in your lighter. Processed into a chemical that extends shelf life and is present in Twinkies, Ho-Ho's, and dozens of other Hostess products. Beyond TBHQ, high fructose corn syrup, partially hydrogenated oils, and artificial colors appear in these snacks. The same combination researchers link directly to increased chronic disease risk. Studies on ultra-processed foods, the category Hostess products sit firmly inside, connect this dietary pattern to 678,000 American deaths per year from diet-related disease. That number comes from peer-reviewed research, not a fringe study, not a wellness blog. Published science connecting the food in this wrapper to preventable death at scale. The J.M. Smucker Company acquired Hostess in 2023. The formula did not change. Bottom line, a butane-derived preservative, trans fats, and artificial colors in a product linked by researchers to hundreds of thousands of annual deaths. The next brand is sold as a healthy alternative. It is not. Gatorade, the sports drink, the one athletes drink, the one parents give kids after soccer practice because it must be healthy. It's for athletes. For years, both Mountain Dew and Gatorade contained brominated vegetable oil, BVO, a flame retardant chemical. The same class of compound used to stop furniture from catching fire, added to your sports drink to keep the artificial flavoring from separating. BVO has been linked to neurological damage and thyroid disruption. PepsiCo only began removing it after sustained consumer backlash, not because regulators forced them. because people found out. And Gatorade still contains artificial dyes in many formulations. The same dyes linked to behavioral issues in children. Given to children. After sport. As a reward. Mountain Dew has historically been one of the highest sugar beverages in the American market, combined with artificial dyes and caffeine, in a product aggressively marketed to teenagers. Bottom line, a flame-retardant chemical removed only under consumer pressure, with artificial dyes still present in products marketed to children and athletes. Brand number 8 is in your pantry right now, if you cook. And what is getting into the food isn't an ingredient, it's a contamination. Tyson Foods, one of the largest food companies in America. Chicken nuggets, frozen meals, deli products. Tyson is in more American freezers than almost any other brand. In 2019, Tyson recalled over 36,000 pounds of chicken nuggets for contamination. That is documented. That is an FDA record. But here is what gets less coverage. Tyson has faced sustained scrutiny for using peracetic acid and other processing chemicals on poultry carcasses during production. Worker health complaints have documented that these chemicals cause serious respiratory and skin reactions on processing lines. In 2025, Tyson announced it would remove 5 chemical additives from its Jimmy Dean and Hillshire Farm brands. 5 additives, voluntarily removed, which means they were there before, which means you were eating them before the announcement. That is not a safety win. That is a confession with a press release attached. Bottom line, a documented contamination recall, processing chemicals linked to worker health complaints, and an additive removal in 2025 that confirms what was in the food before. The next brand makes the processed meat that is sitting in your refrigerator right now, and what is inside it forms carcinogens directly in your body. Oscar Mayer, bologna, hot dogs, deli turkey, the lunchbox staple of every American childhood. The ingredient creating the problem, sodium nitrite, a preservative used to extend shelf life and maintain the pink color that makes processed meat look fresh. When sodium nitrite enters your body, it can form nitrosamines, compounds classified as probable human carcinogens. A 2022 study published in the National Library of Medicine found that high nitrate consumption raised breast cancer risk, while high nitrite intake raised prostate cancer risk. Consumer Reports has confirmed that regularly eating processed deli meats, even in small amounts, meaningfully increases cancer and heart disease risk. This isn't a trace contaminant. It's a functional ingredient. It's in the product by design, because it makes the product look better and last longer. The parent company, Kraft Heinz, has faced calls from public health experts at leading universities to act on removing these compounds. As of this video, Oscar Mayer deli meats still contain sodium nitrite. Bottom line, a preservative that forms probable human carcinogens in the body, used because it makes the product look better on a shelf. Brand number 6 makes the snack stick that gas stations across America sell as a protein source. What's actually in it is something else entirely. Slim Jim, the gas station protein stick. High protein on the go, $1 a piece. Here is the ingredient reality. Mechanically separated chicken, a paste-like substance produced by forcing bones and attached tissue through a high-pressure sieve. Textured soy flour, corn syrup, hydrolyzed soy protein, which contains monosodium glutamate, and sodium nitrite, the same compound that forms carcinogens, which we just covered in Oscar Mayer. Each serving delivers 23% of your recommended daily sodium in a stick the size of your finger. Slim Jim scores a Nutri-Score of E, the worst possible rating on the European Nutritional Scoring System. Not a low score, the lowest score. The same rating reserved for products researchers consider most damaging to long-term health. It is sold at every gas station in America as a convenient protein source. The protein is real. Everything surrounding it is not something your body was designed to process. Bottom line, mechanically separated meat, nitrite-based preservation, and the worst possible European nutritional rating, marketed as a convenient snack. Brand number 5 has been in American kitchens since 1892. The jingle is iconic. Transparency is non-existent. McDonald's, billions served, the most recognized food brand on earth. Researchers from George Washington University, Harvard, and Boston University conducted peer-reviewed testing on McDonald's food. Their finding, over 80% of samples contained phthalates, endocrine-disrupting industrial chemicals linked to reproductive health issues and learning disorders in children. Beyond phthalates, McDonald's food contains the preservative TBHQ, the butane-derived compound we covered in Hostess. Researchers identified 78 different additives across the McDonald's menu. 78 additives in fast food. A medium McDonald's mocha contains 42 grams of sugar. A caramel frap contains 62 grams. The World Health Organization recommends no more than 25 grams of added sugar per day for an adult. One McDonald's drink puts a child at more than double that limit before they have eaten a single bite of food. Bottom line, phthalates confirmed by peer-reviewed university research, 78 identified additives, and sugar levels in single drinks that exceed daily health guidelines for children. If you are finding this helpful, hit that subscribe button so more people can see this too. Brand number 4 makes the soda that has 1.9 billion servings consumed every single day. Coca-Cola, the most consumed beverage on Earth. One can contains nearly 10 teaspoons of added sugar. The World Health Organization recommends no more than 6 teaspoons per day for an adult. One can puts you over the limit before you have eaten breakfast. Studies published in Nature Medicine, one of the most respected scientific journals in the world, have linked sugary drinks directly to millions of cases of type 2 diabetes and heart disease globally. Not associated. Linked. Causal relationship established in peer-reviewed research at scale. Regular consumption affects kidney function, liver health, and research has documented effects on memory and motor coordination through sugar's impact on brain activity. Coca-Cola's marketing budget in 2023 exceeded $4 billion. $4 billion spent on telling you this product belongs in your life, while the science of what it does to your body accumulates in journals most people will never read. Bottom line, 10 teaspoons of sugar per can, Nature Medicine research. Linking consumption to millions of cases of diabetes and heart disease, and a $4 billion annual marketing operation designed to keep you buying. Brand number 3 put pH phthalates in children's lunchboxes, and when researchers tested them, they found something else too. Kraft Heinz, Kraft Mac and Cheese, Lunchables, two of the most purchased children's food products in America. Kraft Mac and Cheese has tested positive for phthalates, endocrine-disrupting industrial chemicals that interfere with brain development in children. This was not a fringe finding. It was documented testing that triggered formal calls to action from dozens of public health experts at leading American universities. Then Consumer Reports tested Lunchables. They found lead, cadmium, and phthalates. Lead, in a product designed, marketed, and sold specifically for children's lunches. Kraft Heinz's response was to announce future reformulation goals while continuing to sell the existing products. In 2025, they announced plans to remove artificial colors, an acknowledgement that those colors were there and that they were a problem. The public health experts who called on Kraft Heinz to act weren't fringe voices. They were researchers from institutions whose names appear in the footnotes of FDA policy documents. Bottom line, phthalates in mac and cheese, lead and cadmium confirmed in Lunchables by Consumer Reports, and a corporate response measured in future promises rather than immediate action. Brand number 2 controls more of your grocery cart than you probably realize, and what they put in their products has generated over 400,000 petition signatures demanding change. PepsiCo, Pepsi, Doritos, Lay's, Gatorade, Mountain Dew, Quaker Oats, One Company, a significant percentage of the American snack and beverage aisle. PepsiCo products have faced lawsuits and regulatory investigations over 4-methylimidazole, a chemical formed during the production of caramel coloring. California's Proposition 65 flags this chemical as a potential carcinogen. It appears in Pepsi's signature dark color. Their snack products have contained red 40 and yellow 5 for decades, the same petroleum-derived dyes linked to behavioral issues in children that we covered in General Mills. PepsiCo only announced accelerated removal of artificial ingredients in 2025, under government pressure. This is a company whose products span breakfast, lunch, snacks, and beverages, and whose ingredient concerns follow every category they operate in. Bottom line, a potential carcinogen in the caramel coloring, petroleum dyes across snack lines, and removal commitments that only materialized under regulatory pressure in 2025. Brand number 1 is the one that will surprise you most, because this is the brand that built its entire identity on quality and trust. A former FDA food safety expert went on record and called it the worst cereal on the American market. The brand, Kellogg's Fruit Loops. Kellogg's. The brand in more American breakfast bowls than almost any other. Their products contain petroleum-based artificial dyes, red 40, yellow 5, yellow 6, that have been linked to gut inflammation, irritable bowel syndrome, and hyperactivity in children. The European Union requires warning labels. American boxes carry none. In 2024, over 400,000 people signed a petition demanding Kellogg's remove these additives. Their response was, they already sell cleaner versions in Canada and the United Kingdom. Those reformulated products do not include the synthetic dyes, and they are sold in markets with stricter regulations. The American version keeps the dyes. The same product. 2 formulas. One for countries with stricter laws. One for the United States. That decision was made deliberately. Someone at Kellogg's calculated that American regulations did not require the cleaner formula and kept selling the version with petroleum-based dyes to American children while selling the cleaner version elsewhere. That is not an oversight. That is a policy. Bottom line, a former FDA expert named it the worst cereal on the market, over 400,000 petition signatures demanding change, and a company already selling cleaner formulas abroad while keeping the dye-loaded version for America. Here's what actually earned a clean bill of health from independent labs, certified testing, and ingredient transparency that doesn't hide behind a marketing claim. Employee-owned, over 400 whole grain products, certified organic, non-GMO project certified, and fair trade verified. Bob's Red Mill uses slow stone mills, the same milling method used before industrial processing stripped nutrients out of grain to extend shelf life. Their products retain the natural vitamins, minerals, and fiber that industrial processing removes. No additives, no artificial ingredients. An ingredient list you can read in 5 seconds and understand completely. This is what grain products look like before corporations optimize them for margin instead of nutrition. Stonyfield was the first dairy processor in America to pay farmers not to use RBST, the synthetic growth hormone injected into conventional dairy cows to increase milk production. Their organic yogurts contain live probiotic cultures backed by research showing documented benefits for gut health, immune function, and prevention of antibiotic-associated diarrhea. USDA Organic Certified. No artificial sweeteners, colors, or preservatives. When registered dietitians are asked to name trustworthy dairy brands, Stonyfield appears consistently. That's not marketing. That's professional consensus built on ingredient transparency. No chemical nitrites, no nitrates, no phosphates, no artificial ingredients, no preservatives. Applegate is the direct answer to every concern we raised about Oscar Mayer and Slim Jim deli meat and packaged proteins made without the compounds that form carcinogens in your body. Their animals are raised without antibiotics or growth hormones. Their beef is 100% grass-fed from verified regenerative United States grasslands. All products are non-GMO. This is what deli meat looked like before industrial preservation chemistry became the industry standard. It costs more. It contains less. Less is the point.